Good morning. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. Yes, it is Thursday. It is the morning after. Morning after what you say? It is the morning after the World Series. And yes, the Nats are World Series champions. Now, for all of you baseball fans or maybe just World Series fans, that is pretty exciting, especially for those of you who are in the DMV. And I know my hometown team made it nowhere close to playoffs or World Series. So I had to root for the next hometown team, which is a stone's throw from me. Hey, Stephanie, happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. Actually, I just wanted to pop on really quickly because, yes, I stayed up to watch the World Series Game 7. That is exciting for all you sports fans. Anytime a contest gets to Game 7, you know that it's been a good series. So Game 7 was the final defining game that made the Nats the Washington Nationals World Series champions. And here's why I'm so intrigued and excited about this story, because I've been listening to the reports, and what I didn't realize is that during the season, the first 50 or so games of the season, they lost 19, right? So their record was something like 19 and 30-ish or whatever it was. So by all accounts, that would make people and pundits say, "Oh, the Nationals aren't going to make it. They're not going to, have a great season. They're surely not going to get to the playoffs, and they're surely not going to win the World Series." Well, guess what? They kicked it in gear. And what I didn't realize also, get myself all tongue-tied because I'm so excited. I just want to get this thought out of my head and share it with you, and hopefully it'll be something that you can take with you all throughout this day. But what I also did not know until I started listening to the commentators give the stats and all that kind of stuff, but what they said was that they were actually in 5 elimination games through this series, right? So from the wild card game on up to the World Series, they were in 5 elimination games. So just think about that for a second. There are very few, if any, team who in 5 elimination games make it to the last dance. Because what that means is in 5 elimination games, you might just get eliminated out of the contest, and you might not be able to go any further. But they were in 5 elimination games, and if I say this stat correctly, and I might botch it a little bit. Good morning, Natasha. Happy Friday Eve. Good to see you on, sis. Just bouncing on really quickly, just sharing the excitement of the Washington Nationals winning the World Series. Yes. So, if I say this correctly, in each of those 5 games, or at least a portion of those 5, don't quote me on this, but at some point throughout the series, they were down in the contest, right? So just think about this. To be down in the contest and 5 games were elimination games, and you come back not just to win, but 4 of those games in the World Series contest were won on the road. Now, if you're not a sports fan, let me just break this down really quickly. When you're on the road, when you have to go play your opponent in their house, it becomes more of a challenge, because not only do you have the players on the field, but you also have the fans who are rallying behind their team, and sometimes that just gives the hometown team the advantage. So the Nats had to go on the road and win. So they went to Houston, won the first 2 games there, okay? That's on the road. Then they come back to DC, and they lose the next 2. So, oh my gosh, it's like, okay, the series is tied 2 games apiece. So then they have to go back to Houston and play the last 2 games, and they won both of those. So can you just imagine the pressure of having to go into your opponent's house and to win so that you can go on to claim yourself as champion? So let me just put it in real context. So for those of you who may not be sports fans and you're like, what is she talking about? 19 and 30 something, and 5 games where they were down and had to come back, and they were elimination games. Like, I'm not a sports fan, so help me explain that. So I'm glad you asked that question. How do you explain how this World Series championship for the Washington Nationals, how does that relate to my life? Well, here's the deal. Hey, Angel, happy Friday Eve. Super excited to see you on Beautiful this morning. Thank you so much. So here is the thing. Bottom line is, for all intents and purposes, the Washington Nationals were probably counted out several times throughout the season. How many times have you counted yourself out, or have others counted you out? Perhaps because you weren't doing so well, or your stats didn't look like what somebody else expected of you and you were counted out. Does that sound familiar? I'm going to raise my hand because yes, I can only tell you in this short amount of time that yes, I know that some have looked at me and counted me out. All right. So the second piece of this conversation is they were in 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 elimination games throughout the course of this postseason play. Now just think about that. 5 elimination games. That means that in 5 contests, they had their backs against the wall. They were in a corner. They were on the verge of being checked out. So I don't know about you, but it might sound familiar that perhaps there have been not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, maybe even more times where you were in your own elimination game, where you thought, oh my gosh, I just don't have any more energy to give. I just don't know if I fit in. I don't know if I measure up. I don't know if I should go forward and do that. Hey, let me tell you, if there is nothing else that you get from this conversation, just know this, that you too can be like the Washington Nationals, right? And you can come out, you can get up off the mat, as one of the commentators just said. They got off the mat and they started swinging, literally started swinging, because the game last night, the final score was 6-2 when they were down 2-0 throughout the entire game, just about. So I wanted to share this because some of us have those moments where we just don't know if we have what it takes. Some of us have those moments where we're looking at the giant being in the opponent's house and we're like, there's no way that I can win this contest because there is something going against me, right? So when I think about the amazingness of this story, like this Cinderella story, and there are stats that they were given this morning that I didn't even know, and I'm not even going to try to repeat because I might say it wrong, but there's so much history that was made last night. What I do know is that it was 1924 when the Washington Senators won a World Series. So it's been almost 100 years since the nation's capital has seen a World Series championship. So let me just say this, and then I'm going to close out so you can go and get on with your day. But the bottom line is this: don't count yourself out. And for sure, don't let other people cause you to count yourself out. Because people will look at you from a distance and they'll see your mistakes and they'll say, oh, she used to be this. Oh, he used to do that. Okay, that might be true. That's part of the story. But at the end of the day, there was something that happened in the Nationals locker room. There was something that happened on the team. There was something that shifted and changed and caused them to galvanize themselves to take the World Series champion title. Now, can you just think about that for a minute? And what I'm asking you and I to do is to think about, how does that apply to me today? Am I going to count myself out, or am I going to say, oop, this might feel like the elimination game, but I'm going to keep on hitting and I'm going to keep going up to the plate and I'm going to keep taking a swing at it until I get it right. So Angel says, I woke up to a message that I needed to hear this morning. Thank you. That's what I love and appreciate. I'm so glad that you bounced in, because that's what this conversation is about. Like, I'm sitting here walking through the house and I'm thinking about the history behind what I just witnessed. And I'm like, how many of us have been in situations where we've been like, oh gosh, I'm just done. I don't have enough energy. I don't know if I have enough experience. I don't know if I know the right people. I made so many mistakes that I can't even see straight. And then we check ourselves out and we don't even give ourselves a chance to come up to bat again. So what I'm saying is that this is not your elimination game. This is the next step, the next leg, the next at bat, for those of you who are baseball fans, or at least know that that term is used in baseball, right? This is your next at bat. Like when you go up to the plate, the swing that you make, as long as you watch the pitch and you hit your pitch, has the potential to be knocked out of the park, and even more than that, has the potential to send you to championship status. Well, my goodness. Hey, Dolores, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Just wanted to jump on real quick and share that, because I'm telling you, it's a wonder that my eyes are open, because I stayed up. Not only did I stay up to watch the whole game, but then I had to watch all the post game coverage and the interviews and them popping off the champagne in the locker room. I'm all into it. And as I was listening to all of the talk this morning, I thought, my goodness, how much does this win apply to us? Like, how much does this win apply to us? 5 times they were in elimination games, y'all. Do you hear what I'm saying? 5 times. And for those of us who are living, I'm sure that we have been in spots where we have been up against the wall more than 5 times. And I'm sure that there have been times where we're just like, oh my gosh. But like right now, right today, where you stand, where you sit, wherever you are listening to this, know this. Hey, Lenora, happy Friday Eve. Good to see you. Good to see you, praying continuously for the family. Thank you for jumping in. Here's the conversation. This is about, yes, the World Series win and all the history around it, but it is more about us looking at our situation and saying to ourselves, man, I feel like I'm in the elimination game. I feel like this is the game that I'm going to lose, and I'm going to have to go packing home because I did not succeed. And I'm here to tell you, let's dispel that right now. Because if nothing else, we can look at the Nationals. And I'm encouraging you, if you are a sports fan, even if you're not, if you can tell I am, okay? Even if you're not, just go through and maybe Google some of the stories and the interviews perhaps that have been given by the players, by the manager, by other commentators, and just listen to or read the story about how in the beginning of the season, nobody would have expected them to not just get to the playoffs, but to make it all the way to win 4 games on the road, and then last night come from behind win. Because like I said, they were down 2-0, and I'm like, Lord, come on, y'all. Come from behind to win 6-2 was the final score. So claim your come from behind victory today. Claim your come from behind victory today, like right now. And I know nothing in your space may even look like a victory, but claim it anyway and keep playing your game. Like, just let people keep talking about how you're not going to do it. Let people keep talking about your stats. Good morning, Valerie. Let people keep talking about what your beginning look like and try to measure up your middle and your end, or your future, let me say it that way, against your past. Because that's really what people were doing. They were looking at the Nationals record and they were like, ooh, they're not going anywhere. Ooh, they fooled everybody. I know that's not proper grammar, but that's how I feel this morning. So on that note, if you today say, I don't know if I have one more at bat, guess what? You do. I don't know if I can get up to the plate one more time, guess what? I can do it. That's what this conversation is about. So what I was trying to say, and I think I left it off, and I'm going to come back to it. So if you have a chance today, just go and just look at some of the quotes and some of the interviews from the Nets, the Washington Nationals. Look at where they were earlier in the season and think about, man, how does this apply to me? Oh, was my yesterday or my last week, did it not look so good? Okay, well, how can I shift and course correct so that I can take one more at bat, one more swing at the pitch? Just how can I? And just look at some of the things that people are saying about this team and about the history of the win. 95 years, almost, I think it was 94, 95 years since the last World Series in DC, or I should say since the last title pennant win in DC. Just think about that. Time, right? But here's their motto, and I don't think I'm saying it right, but it was like, never give up or never give in or something like that. I'm sure if you Google some of the things that are being said, that's going to be one of the things, because they talked about that. Never give up. And guess what? They never gave up. And sometimes when we give up on us, let alone, we don't worry about people giving up on us. They don't really count. But when we give up on us, we check ourselves out. But their motto was, never give up. Never give up, or something along those lines. It's not a direct quote, but it's something that says we're going to stay in the fight, and we're going to keep giving it all that we have, and 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 see if we can come up with a win. So anywho, I just wanted to share that. It's rainy and it's cloudy outside here. I don't know what it looks like where you are, But I just wanted to share because I'm going to tell you that this whole story resonates with me. And I thought, I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to share it with somebody else because somebody might be trying to figure out, do I have what it takes to take one more swing? And I'm going to tell you this, you absolutely do. And as long as you are living and breathing, you do. You do. We do. I'm putting myself in that equation. So anyway, I want you to have a fantastic Friday Eve. Look forward to the weekend because it's right around the corner. And I don't know about you, but I love the weekend. So enjoy it. Enjoy this day and figure out. And I'm telling you, don't forget, go and do all your searches on the net stuff. Like do as many searches as you need to get a glimpse of the story. Like I'm only sharing a portion of it. but if you just do, Google search and just look at all the stuff that's being posted about, just this team being counted out and just say, ooh, that resonates with me. And when it resonates with you and you see the end result of what happened when they stayed in the game, just think about the fact that too can be you and me if we go ahead and take that next at bat. So anyway, have a fantastic Friday Eve, and I'm sure I'll see you again real soon. Until I do, take care and be well. Mwah.